Grizzlies big man Jaren Jackson Jr. underwent surgery to repair a stress fracture in his right foot today. Memphis announced that he's expected to miss approximately 4 to 6 months. That would put him in danger of missing the start of next year. Jackson was named first team all defense this past season. All right, guys, let me ask the question then. What does this do to free agency now? What does it force Memphis to do, if anything at all, Coach?
Memphis is one of the few teams, because they're so deep, they can survive Jaren Jackson, even missing a few games or the first month of the season. This team is deep, and you got a guy in Ja Morant, even though they don't play the same position, was playing at an MVP caliber level. And I know they just traded DeAnthony Milton, but this is a very deep roster. This is a team that got, their feet wet in the playoffs last year, obviously got knocked out by the Golden State Warriors. But they have various degrees of lineups. They can play big, they can play small. They have some other guys, like Kyle Anderson. That's a free agent. We'll see what happens with him. But you got some really talented guys on their bench. This was a team that was 11 or 12 deep on some nights. So even though Jaren Jackson is a stud and he was part of that 1-2 punch with Ja Morant and a big guy that can stretch the floor and also knock down some threes, when he got in foul trouble, obviously that hurt their team in the start of some of those early games in the first quarters. But I think they'll be able to survive. They need him more, obviously, in the second half of the season and come playoff time than the first month of the season.
Bill, what do you think?
I absolutely agree with Coach. I mean, on a lot of teams, this would be a significant loss. This is I think, a great young team. With all respect to Draymond Green, I think they're going to be just fine in the years ahead. They've got a really great young core, of which Jackson is obviously a big part. And guys, they've also got a sizable amount of cap space. I mean, depending what they do with some of the players on that team, guys like Kyle Anderson and some of the expiring contracts, Dylan Brooks, Steven Adams, they have the flexibility to get anywhere from $19 and $30 million in pretty easy to utilize cap space starting right now. So if they feel like there's a problem, they can plug that hole. But I'm with Coach. I don't think they have to panic. It's a really good basketball team. And I'll just remind everybody how deep they are. When Ja Morant missed games last year, and there's a lot of games, they still won a ton of basketball games. They actually won at a higher clip without Ja Morant than with Ja Morant. That doesn't mean they don't need Ja Morant. It just means they have remarkable depth. And if they can do that, they can succeed at that level without Ja in the regular season, they can certainly do it without another one of their big players. I think Memphis will be fine, and I think they have the luxury, as Coach noted, of being pretty patient. They just want to make sure that their core, Jaren Jackson Jr. certainly included, is healthy and ready to go in April.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.